Right, hello, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be ranking all of the Heart of Iron 4 nations that have focus trees. That being the key part, mainly because if I am going to rank the ones that don't have focus trees, most of them are going to end up in not played or F, for, well, obvious reasons. So anyway, we'll just go right into it, but before that, please make sure to like and subscribe, it helps out tremendously. Anyway, we'll just go in. Now, after that little caveat. Now, US. It's a very fun nation. I like playing it. I haven't played that much, admittedly, but it's always a blast, and I feel like I'm going to give it S because it's always fun to do. I'm going to give it A because the historical stuff isn't that good personally. Not that enjoyable, but the historical gameplay is it's one of the best nations. Definitely, if you haven't played the game or if you're just starting out, it's a really good one to start off on because it's more relaxed, and obviously because you don't have to worry about stuff necessarily as much. For Britain, to be fair, it's the case of a lot of nations. I feel is that its focus tree is a bit dated compared to new ones now, and so yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like it's as enjoyable as a nation's compared to a few others. But that doesn't matter necessarily. It's still a fun nation to play, especially again, it's somewhat similar to US, as in that historical is fun to play, but the historical isn't that good. I feel like no, in terms of gameplay though, historical I'd say Britain's, but not historical Britain's better, but historical US is better. France is a B, if I'm honest. It's not really necessarily a nation I'll play that much because it's not as fun. You either sort of have to try and prepare to fight the Germans or defend against the Germans. If you're playing historical and ahistorical, well, it's just a interesting scenario. You don't know what will happen, and I feel like France is it's an alright nation to play. You definitely need to be a bit more experienced, especially if you're going you're playing a historical run. Same can be said for the USSR. It is not a nation you want to play if you've just started the game, because it's going to be very difficult, and it can be a bit disheartening as well, because you will be losing land against the Germans, because they will get buffs against you, and you'll have a terrible army of all your debuffs and whatnot. It's sort of a situation with the Allies again, where they just don't have fun ahistorical things, like focus trees. That's the main problem with it. Soviet Union though is fun. It's harder as well, but it's definitely fun. Again, you can have some fun with a non-historical playthrough. Germany's an S now. They've got a new focus tree, so they've got a good historical path. They can finally do a communist Germany. Don't know why they didn't exist initially. Anyway, again, historically, it's a fun nation to play, just conquering a lot. You get good choice down, but not. So yeah, it definitely deserves the S. And weirdly enough, similar for the Italians. I feel like the Axis have gotten a bit more love over the past few years than the Allies have. Again, Italy, good historical, good ahistorical. It's just it's a fun nation to play. It's definitely a very strong starting nation as well, and probably one you could get away with, starting out with, especially because you start out with war. Anyway, Japan. This one is an Axis nation that hasn't gotten a lot of love recently. It hasn't done that well, because its ahistorical is awful, and for that I'm going to put it in a B, because it's genuinely, it's just bad. Historically, very fun nation to play. I do like playing historical Japan, but that's the only thing that's sort of bring it up, because the historical stuff is absolutely awful. You just get locked in civil wars, and even then, the focus trees are short. You don't really get an industry one as well, which is a problem. Anyway, Greece. I'm giving this one an F. It's just not fun at all. The only interesting thing you can really do is the Byzantine Empire, and even then, it's not brilliant. New Zealand, I'm going to be honest, haven't played. Might get around to it eventually. Australia, you can probably lump all the dominions in this, except Canada. It's sort of a sea experience. The focus trees are brilliant, and yeah, it's just sort of very samey gameplay as well, because you pretty much gonna have to try and break free from Britain one hand, or the other you might want to side of them you might stay with the Empire whatnot. It's quite similar, I feel. Because of those two as well, it's just that again you're sort of worried about Japan. Maybe not less so as Australia, unless they're running wild in Asia, but again, that's just unlikely against the AI. Canada is... I'm going to give Canada a B. It's a fun nation. Again, dated focus tree, but it's a very fun nation to play. Yeah, I was going to say, I definitely would recommend it. It's another good starting nation as well, because you have to be more... it's like teaches you about, I feel like, the like managing the economy better and whatnot, because you're gonna have like a lot smaller like industrial base than you would with any of the other powers. So you're sort of like having to pick one thing and stick with it, especially if you're aligning with the allies. Like one thing I like to do as well, usually is Canada, just like spam out tanks, because you can then just sort of run wild against the Germans. You know, you can like start making pockets, and then your allies will have they'll have the infantry. They'll help out, and they'll kill the pockets. You can just sort of like go crazy and like just blitzkrieg through the Axis, or the allies, depending if you wanted to join the Axis. China, again, another dated focus tree. It should they need updated soon. The like East Asia. Yeah, ever since working the Tiger, like the Tiger was a long time ago now. It's they just haven't the focus trees aren't as good now. China again. I'm not sure to put a C and B. I feel like I'm putting it C because I feel like it's not the most enjoyable out of the Chinas you can get. Communist Chinas, I feel like a lot better, because it's sort of like you're going on a conquest generally. Generally, even if you're going to war with Japan quite soon, you could like mop up like a good chunk of like China. You can pretty much like secure the north on like the west, like Xinjiang, Zanmar. Not Xing, not Xing. What's it? Shaanxi. That's it. I was trying to remember the name of it. Yeah, it's more fun. You get in the war quite quickly, and then it's the experience of fighting the Japanese, or you can betray the Chinese, and just go straight into China and then deal with Japan later. So you get a bit more choice, I feel. Whereas with China, you sort of like you have to go to war with Japan. With communist China, there's a bit more choice in the like historical regard. Obviously, there's not really much to do historically. If you're going to play, if you don't want to play like a non-communist China, then just don't play communist China. It just doesn't make sense. Lovely coffee, you all. Anyway, the cliques. I haven't played many of the cliques. The only thing like, I was gonna say, one again, same again. It's not F. I feel like it's C again. It can be samey depending on where you pick. Like I feel like Yunnan and Guangxi, they'll be quite similar. Like Zebas and Mars, Shaanxi, again, you're gonna be at war with one or the other. You're gonna like conquer them, sort of thing. And then if you're just like conquering straight away, but obviously like you might just be like focusing on becoming legitimate China. Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna say, speaking of semi-focus trees, you've got the Baltics. Again, if you played one, you sort of played them all. There's not that much difference. Again, like Estonia, you can do stuff with Finland. Lithuania's got like an interesting kingdom path. So I'm gonna give Lithuania and Estonia a B. I feel like Latvia is a bit lacking a bit more compared to them. Anyway, Manchuko. Manchuko's it can be brutal. You do need to be good at the game, and it might be a bit painful for some people to play, and just might not be enjoyable. First time I played Manchuko, I was playing non-historical, and I got like freed from the Japanese after the Independence War, which is weird. I can't remember how that happened because that was years ago, but it was a good way to like start off a Manchuko run. I'm giving it a C because I feel like it's just not enjoyable. It's not one you want to go into necessarily. Mexico, I actually haven't also played. I don't know why I haven't played Mexico. It's one that's always been on my list and just haven't gotten round to it. It does seem like an interesting nation though, so I'm looking forward to playing it. Poland, I've played a few things with Poland. I think I did the achievement where you had to get like on Jerusalem. I think if I remember, there's like Crusader Kings, was it? One of the Crusader Kings one. But yeah, I'll put it in it. It's a fun nation to play. From the 1936 start point, I haven't tried the 1939 one, and I don't think I will for a while. Yeah, I was going to say, but yeah, Poland is fun. You do get some choice. You can align with the Germans, align with the Soviets, or just do your own thing. I was going to say, definitely a very enjoyable nation to play. Portugal, it's all right. I had an enjoyable experience with it the first time I played it with the way you unify Brazil. I haven't actually played it other than that though. That's the thing. Cause I feel like that's the only one I'm sort of interested in. But it was fun. I'm gonna put it in B because the one playthrough I did of it was fun. But to be fair, the other focuses might get worse. That's why I'm sort of not putting it in A or S because that game was I'd rank the game as A for gameplay, but I feel like just I'm not really that interested in the others. Like pass. I was gonna say Spain next. I'm not sure about Spain to be honest because I feel like you get a lot of choice. You sort of forced in the Spanish Civil War, and if you're new to the game, it can be quite brutal. There are ways to like cheese it, whatnot, just get it done quite quickly though. So if you if you like more experience, it's like not necessarily as bad. I think I'm gonna put it in B as well. It's not a similar situation to Portugal. I've only done the car lists. I didn't even get the like Two Crowns achievement. I should have done that. I don't even think I was playing on Ironman mode then, to be fair. Anyway, it's an alright nation. You get some interesting focuses. Like you get one where you can like call the world. I think, or sort of not exactly call the world. I think because you need to like get compliance and political power, so it'll take ages. Anyway, Hungary. Hungary's an interesting. I like Hungary today. Yeah, I was gonna say that definitely needed like that focus tree like fix. Austria-Hungary, very fun thing to like path to do. And it's one I've done quite a few times because it's very enjoyable. Bulgaria's. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in not played. I was trying to remember if I've played it. I haven't actually. I thought I did. No, I was gonna say I think I'm getting like confused like Greece or Turkey or something. I haven't played really the Battle of the Bosphorus nations that much for well, obvious reasons. It's not enjoyable. I might as well finish off the not played tier list of putting Ethiopia in there. I feel like it's a nation I need to get round to eventually, but haven't. And South Africa. Haven't touched South Africa. Might do. Again, I feel like I want to give like India more of a chance, especially seeing as though it's new DLC. I might be able to compare like the industry India like Focus Tree before after sort of thing. It might be like worth replaying just to get like a feel what the differences are. Yugo's C. It's again. What was it? Death or Dishonor was it? I can't remember which like DLC it was, but I was gonna say the focuses are brilliant. You can just sort of dismantle yourself if you want. What's it? Czechoslovakia. Again, focus tree not brilliant. I feel like it should have been updated with like Austria and Hungary and whatnot. I don't know. It would have been nice to like seeing it do a bit better. Maybe we'll get like a Balkan nations one where like we fix like Yugoslavia, Romania, like Czechs, whatnot. I'm gonna put it in C. Yeah, it's sort of a similar. I'm gonna do the same for Romania and Turkey as well. I feel like the C's. Turkey, you get so long. You have to wait ages to do stuff. So it isn't necessarily that enjoyable. Again, like the Ottomans I played, again, you just wait a while. Eventually you get stuff to do. And you're not exactly like the best nation to like go off of, and you're sort of like relying on like other like powers like feeding you essentially. Romania, not brilliant. Again, playing historical, you have to worry about the like we have to worry about the Germans, fully enough, because if you like deny Northern Transylvania, they will come into you, and then there's also the Soviets as well. So you sort of it's not the best position to be in. Might be more like fun for like more experienced players, and like, there are some interesting achievements you can like do with it, but it's not that fun for me personally. I didn't enjoy it that much. Anyway, there's the I've just been speaking too much. That's the focus tree, and well, because obviously people are going to disagree. I'm looking at it now. I might bump the US up to an S because generally I'd have fun playing it, but I feel like I'll look at it. I feel like this is somewhat right. Obviously, if like you guys are gonna have different opinions, and obviously you're entitled to that, and it would make sense. But anyway, hope you've all enjoyed. Again, remember like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time with whatever wacky creation I've come up with next.